can see he's actually just using those clingers because he does have those small shield potions right before. So he's just spending them, and he finally does start to get tags. This player's trying to go up, but unfortunately, he can knock him down pretty easily in another tag. So Tyler might get a little bit more aggressive, especially now knowing that he has no more shields. And there it is. Destroyer goes down. 30 players left, and Zeke. It really depends on who's in your lobby. What kind of players are all going to be in your lobby? If you have a lobby with a stack of very, very aggressive players, you're not going to get those type of end games that we have been seeing, the 41s in the fourth circle, right?
Right.
So it really depends who ends up in your lobby right now.
I'm curious to see where we go from Loot Lake, right? Because we're heading on to the very center, just a little bit north of that center. The question is, where do we go after this? Loot Lake's a weird place to fight because it's so, like, the terrain differs so much. And depending on how you're building, like, for example, if you're just in the water, you have to build, like, a lower plane before you can build just, like, on that standard level you're used to. You've got all the weird, like, you know, archways and whatnot. Like, look at this crazy terrain.
Yeah, it's very difficult. That's why you can see people tend to, especially when they go over the water. Well, number one, they tend to not stay on top of the water. But if they do, they tend to build. You can see Carbo. You can see he's in his base with that floor underneath. Doesn't have to deal with the water, deal with that situation at all.
Oh, there's a supply drop right there. Looks like someone's going to get it. The question is it a rocket launcher? We'll have to find out as Zuma gets flushed out by that stink grenade there.
Did somebody get it? I can't tell right now.
Someone did get it. I think it might have been Zumba. We'll see.
Okay. We'll see. Somebody's going to continue to pressure him. Here's King. Does have those stink grenades in hand. He's going to continue. He actually does tag 2 people here. And another one as well. He's just continuing to use these stink grenades. We'll see what this player's going to do. He does actually find a little nook there. He's going to spam right through. He's actually staying in the box, and unfortunately, he gets tagged right back, so not exactly what he wanted. Good recognition there from King.
Ooh, he shot his own wall. Not good. He gets punished for making that vital mistake.
Playing that angle was really uncomfortable because it's so tight for the other player, but then the left-hand peek, and now King actually is going to finish that off. So did pop that slurp so he can start ticking right before that. So good play there from King, and good recognition to follow that up. Definitely want to avoid those left-hand peeks, though, for sure. You can see the circle starting to move as all the ballers are rotating over. Neely actually using a drip board. It's not something we're accustomed to seeing. Definitely something that Zeke likes to see.
That's right. Thank you for saying it. My favorite mobility option. So, also, keep in mind, Bala, we're at 27 players, rather. 2 more, and we hit top 25.
That's for sure. Nice wall replays from Saf, and he actually gets the half wall down, and he's going to continue. So he's going to go right back on the other side. This is very good. Pressuring all sorts of different sides. Neely couldn't keep up with it. And one thing to notice, this is Saf's home, Loot Lake. He loves to drop here, especially in duos. I'm not sure what his solos drop spot is right now, but regardless, Saf knows how to play here. He's very comfortable fighting. 23 now that you just talked about it. That top 25, but another couple shots in from Saf onto Snook. Through the window. Again, people got to be so careful with these window edits, especially when you start to spray your AR through them.
Can he line up another shot? This player getting caught off guard. Saf finds another. Yeah. We saw it in the elimination feed as well. Tyler, 15, still rolling around, finding even more eliminations. Another few 33s. That's a 66.
Saf, are you kidding me right now? Up to 7 elims, and this pathing is just clinical, going right through the center. He needs to try to get away from the corner, but he is getting so far ahead. Such good play from Saf, such good positioning. This is starting to get really, really uncomfortable, and there's Saf again. We saw that trick before in the last game, but Saf using it again, placing the trap and then knocking them down in the floor into your box. That's goodbye to that player. Saf's going to start to try to carve out his own little layer here inside the mid-ground.
Saf is just killing it right now, dude. He's done this play 2 times in a single game. Let's go, Saf.
Saf, one of the most impressive players throughout this pre-World Cup stretch. And there you go, placing the launch pad. He's actually going to land on an old high ground. No, he didn't want to contest that guy. Again, you got to be careful when you land on top of somebody like that. But we'll see, actually, if he's going to try to knock it down. He actually does take him out. Tyler, 15, goes down to Saf's precise aim. He's actually slaying out in another one as well onto Scrap. He's up to 10. Saf is just destroying the lobby. He's going to fight with takeoffs now. See if takeoffs is going to be able to, too calm, too calculated. He knows exactly what's coming. Using that compact SMG to keep him on his toes, to keep him from moving at all.
Wow, dude, Saf is on fire right now. Another He's got 10 eliminations. We just hit top 5, which means he gets another set of placement points. This is Saf's game to lose, right?
That was really nice there from Saf. He actually pre-built the box so that he could edit through it. But now the rift, and now they're both going to land, and actually Saf is too quick for him. Beautiful play there and just placing traps all around because he heard the other rift. Felix just comes down and he says, no, I don't want anything to do with Saf on high ground. Now Saf needs to take takeoffs from this high ground. He actually is going to manage to knock him down. There it is. Saf immediately starts to build down because he knows exactly what's happening. Takeoffs actually fell to his own. So now Saf, 2 more players to find. That AR, we talk about his precision between both of these players. Carbo on low ground, Saf on high ground. Felix, we'll see what he can do. See what he can make out with this. And here now with Carbo. No more builds remaining down on low ground. And on Loot Lake, that's very, very uncomfortable. But the last zone is revealed. It's going to go down into the center, which is lower ground. One thing, Carbo actually stopped pressuring Felix, so Felix had the time to pressure Saf a little bit. It's good positioning, good targeting from Felix. Did I just hear a launch pad? No. Wait, Saf is going for the heal off, actually. He's going to place 2 campfires. He's going to stay with the zone. He's going to start to shoot just a little bit and then run back onto the campfires so that Carbo doesn't know exactly where it's going to go, but he gets knocked down. He's in the zone now. Carbo's way out of zone. They're both way out of zone, and Saf is going to finish it. What a play from Saf all the way through from that top 25 situation. He was just consistently getting elimination after elimination, Zeke.
Dude, Saf is an absolute monster. He did everything correctly. Textbook play, but even a step beyond that. I mean, he was constantly covering every single one of his bases. You even saw that moment where he got rifted and he dove back down. He reclaims high ground, here's a second rift, and preemptively drops the trap. So he's like, whatever this threat up here is, I don't even need to worry about it. Saf. Yeah. Crazy play.
And the awareness, like you just said, when Felix rifted as well, he went right back up, and Saf knew immediately, I need to place these traps. He didn't even really look up. He just heard the rift. Just to hear that, that's crazy. Let's watch that again. As Saf, that phenomenal endgame play. Just the final moments. This is when Felix is still alive. Just continuing to pressure on that mid ground. And also paying attention to exactly what Carbo's going to do, and also planning out exactly what he wants to do with the campfires as well. Saw him get so much damage there onto Felix. Just phenomenal play by Saf all around. Look, this is when he decides, look what they're going to do. They're going to fight down on low ground. Yeah, okay, if they're fighting, I have the opportunity to go for the campfire play, the heal off. Because, guess what? I know that Carbo is low because Felix was fighting him down on low ground. So it's just the HP advantage here for Saf. He knows it. He knows what he has. Unfortunately, he gets knocked down. That's unfortunate for sure. But then he realizes that this player's in the zone. He realizes he's not staying inside that tiny circle. So he's taking health damage that entire time. He has the advantage. He goes for the win there. Zeke, phenomenal play.
Absolutely. And even be able to identify very quickly, like, he's not in the storm, and then immediately moves over and starts tracking him. Saf, I'm sure Ghost Gaming and your Ghost Brethren are like, shout outs to you, friend. Guys, let's see where NA Ace is doing as far as the scoreboard is concerned. I'm very curious to see how the standings have shifted. An Unknown Army maintaining that first place spot with 57 points. But Ando, again, jumping back behind him. He wasn't first. These guys have been going back and forth in terms of tiebreakers. Only 1 point separating them right now. But look at everyone else. Again, this is only 1 or 2 points separating that top 1 place.
Yeah. And FC, we saw him have a pop-off game right before this. So he's all the way up into 4th place now as well. Rounding it out, says Lucky Aspect, all these players we've seen in a few games. And now, Benji Fishy in 15th place is the first guy I see. Perfect tilt, a controller player as well. Zexro, Pusher. We saw him win a game earlier.
One I want to call out, 16th place, that barcode. We know who you are, Treason. That is Treason FN. You can look him up. Twitch, Twitter, his name is Treason, T-R-E-A-Z-O-N. Want to make sure that you get your shout out, friend. But yeah, dude, these games are like so crazy. I thought yesterday's action was insane. Yeah. Today is showing to be even better. Again, guys, this is the top 3% of the region that was whittled down into the top 3,000. But I'm not even going to waste time talking about it. Let's hop right into the next game.
Let's do it.
Bala, these, I mean, what have you seen? Like, this is your realm, right? You're so good. You and Sundown are amazing at breaking down plays, breaking down how these people react. Like, what are things that you're seeing that's just standing out to you?
Yeah, I'm seeing the aggressiveness in players. Even though it's such a congested circle, you can see Luke actually going right for it. He's got another one there. He started the game with 3, and now he's just got picked off that Fluffy. Tried to skate with the baller. But what I'm talking about is the aggressiveness in these tight situations, we always, every once in a while, we see it's right around top 25. We say, okay, it's going to quiet down a little bit. But there's so many of these players who are starting to feel exactly what they need to do if they want to pressure and how to stay safe while doing I can't speak.
Words are I've affected you.
Stay safe. There we go.
There it is.
While doing so. So you can see Luke the Sav right there on the edge. He's going to continue to pressure. And they're so good right now at boxing up. As he starts to aggro on this wall, he boxes up around him. Yeah, there it is. Boxing the top. Exactly, this is what I'm talking about. This is a shift, honestly, in how players are going to play, and it's going to have to require people inside and out how to play defensively against this.
Luke here, he had to take a moment, reload all his weaponry. He went and tried to take on Ad. Did not quite go the way he was wanting. He's like, hey, all right, man, you just build above me. I'm going to reload everything, and we'll just keep on moving. We'll take a look at the lay of the land, see kind of where players are, and there's not much building happening here, which leads me to believe here it all is that mountaintop being built upon one-by-ones as far as the eye can see. Yeah,
and I'm curious, Fallen actually making his trek up the mountain right now. It's that fourth zone going to start to close right now. I was wondering if it's going to be in. Actually, that edit comes out.
They edited it themselves. He's going to follow up the shot. Can he secure it? There it is. Zeus Crisis being sent back to lobby.
Yeah. And it's going to go over this mountain. That was really nice. That's a position that not many players are paying attention to, but Fallen's opting to stay in the zone a little bit. I hope he has some heals. He doesn't, so it's a little bit of a questionable decision there. He definitely needed something, and he didn't necessarily find it. I'm not sure what he was looking for. Mobility, maybe. More materials, maybe. We'll see. Now, as you can see, there's so many players right next to each other. Gers, Infamous, onto GNG Swift right now. Yeah, you can see Fallen just went down in the feed. Nice shot there from GNG.
Absolutely, dude. We're nearing that top 25 again, guys. Top 25 is when we see those first 3 points come out for placement. Following that is top 15, 5, and finally the Victorial for total placement points. So we're going to see the game slow down. No one wants to make a mistake. No one wants to be eliminated. Everyone wants those crucial points to make it in and place as high as possible. We're going to see a few shots go out from Swift.
Yeah.
Nothing quite to connect, but it's all good.
Yep, just taking a few shots and hitting the baller.
Never mind.
It's going to go down. Pre-game's go down. Swift with the very nice shots from range. I'm actually curious, where did Infamous go to? He was in this box. It's another player just like Felix who spends a lot of time helping out the competitive scene at the highest level, running various scrim discords and so on and so forth. Now, Pleasant Park, I don't think it's in zone anymore. As you can see, nighttime is starting to rotate actually through it. Yeah, slightly off. It's going to go to that mountain in the west, over towards that Haunted Hills area, Zeke.
You know, this is rough because we're going to kind of have to get onto that mountain.
Yep.
So people need to make a decision. You either rotate a little bit early, secure yourself a spot, or you rotate late and hope to God no one boxes you out, because I promise it's going to happen. Now, Psycho here does have that Rift to go. He's good to go up on top of that mountain. Nighttime could even follow up if he just waits long enough. Now, he doesn't know that's the case.
Yeah.
But, you know, one of them is going to have to look to make a move. Nighttime is like, look, I see this guy moving, and maybe I can secure this elimination, give myself a point. But now we're in top 25, so everyone's going to get 3 points for placement. Psycho has 4 eliminations already. Okay, he's coming down 90 to that man's dome, and a follow-up clean 100. Psycho playing that person like a fiddle. Nighttime, I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to go back to the lobby, friend. Don't worry, you got plenty of time to queue up and get additional games in.
Yeah, see, no, that was a nice play from Psycho. I really like it. We talked about aggressiveness in this kind of range when the circle's so small. Nice way to stay right ahead of the zone. That's perfect. But he does have that Rift to go, so he is comfortable fighting on the edge. If it ends up going Ari, if everybody starts shooting at you, you have that backup option to bail out. Fortunately, it would be kind of a waste at this point, but better safe than sorry. Regardless, now into Jack. See what he's capable of down on low ground. It is going to continue to be a nuisance over that mountain, but there's going to be a slight period, I believe, when this zone is going to be down on low ground the entire time. We'll see, though. That zone is very, very unpredictable. Even the best players sometimes get tripped up of exactly where it's going to go. That's why you see Jack not taking any gambles. He's just going to go up the hill.
This is what we talked about, right? You either rotate a little bit early, make sure you get yourself up the mountain, or you rotate super late, which some players make that decision. But at that point, like, anyone could just box you out, and you have to spend time breaking through walls to try and climb. You take a bunch of unwanted storm damage. It's just best to try and rotate a little early.
Yeah, you can see he's pressuring boxes on his way towards the zone, but now he's realizing, okay, it's actually time. I want to continue towards that zone. Actually, no, he's just continuing to pressure these boxes. He almost gets that wall replaced, but no, it's not going to happen. Somebody's starting to shoot him from above. He doesn't have the mobility. He's trying to force it out of other players right now on the side of zone because all he has is that glider redeploy, but he is going to deploy around the corner.
Following in around the glider redeploy, very much helping him out right now as he can reestablish himself on that low ground. We're about to get the 7th circle, but look at all these ballers falling down from the sky. Please do not bully them, please.
Let's see now. Jack down on the low ground. We saw him redeploy earlier. So many players falling down below. Nets actually takes out Yanzi, but Jack is not going to say, hey, I wanted that elim. It was next to me. That was going to be mine. So Nets go away. You're done. Jack continuing to pressure as much as he can and continuing to go towards that zone. There's that redeploy again. That's something that we really haven't seen since the days of TwitchCon. Ever since that redeploy has been slowed down, you don't see people using it to rotate as much. You kind of use it to see them avoid fall damage, kind of make these small jumps on high ground. And now, Sampa goes down on the feed, top 15. Another more setup placement points there. It's Jack.
Like this, we were again hitting top 15, which means more placement points. Top 5 is the next set. Jack going skybound, gonna look to reassess his predicament right now. Now keep it up. Oh, he just falls right behind there. Luke says, TV, I'm so sorry. Enjoy going back to the lobby as Jack claims all your loot and the high ground. 12 players remain. Now he's just trying to get a lay of the land. We hear a few more launch pads, and he looks in and finds another player there. Big Brain 8 going back to the lobby. 11 remain as Jack has 5 eliminations to his name. He still also has that glider redeploy. So if things go south, at least he has that to rely on and fall back on. But keep in mind, like Bala talked about, it's a slower glide. So he's going to be way more vulnerable.
That's for sure. Now he actually does fall all the way down the low ground. Unfortunate for him, but he's going to launch right back up. He's going to bonk his head. And no, he's not going to make that play. He's just going to stay right back under it. We'll see if he decides to shoot out. No, he's keeping track of his ball. That's very important, but nice shot down onto through the little cracks there. He's keeping an eye on his ball because this guy could hop out at any moment there. Nice cones. He actually does trap that player. He's going to break out now, but nice follow-up onto Sin. You can see.
Take a shot. Take a shot. Okay, they're trying to be cheeky and boost. And that's something Cam Sundown talked about. If you boost and you're not careful, you're going back in the storm.
Unfortunately, though, these players down under there, it's going over the mountain. They have no opportunity now. Only Psycho possibly. It's going to be so awkward, though. And he actually does take out Jack down below, so his HP goes back up, but that's unfortunate. Nothing there. If he had a rift or something, he might get back in, but now it's actually over as Dobby ends up finding the last player up on high ground. That's you talked about it. Look, he has 2 rifts. He's prepared. He knows exactly how these zones are moving, and that's the key to positioning. You got to make sure you're always tracking where these zones are going to go, and over the mountain it does. And Jack and all those players not realizing early enough and not making the rotations early enough, Zeke, to get up above and safe.
That's right, man. When you face off against a mountain, I promise you the mountain wins 99.9% of the time. And, you know, this kind of comes down to, like, what you're talking about, identifying when it's time to go, and then just, even if you're uncomfortable, it's better to go and make a mistake then than be like, well, I'm caught in the storm with nothing, so either way I lose. But we're going to hop right into the next game. Ape TV here, the current elimination leader, followed by and tied with I Am Naz TV. Pusher, Sharpshooter, and Tide Tanks all tied with 2 eliminations, but that could change as we have 43 players here in Circle 4. And now Destroyer straight up destroys that player. It's unknown who has sent back to the lobby, Bala.
We'll see. Looking at the Elim leaders, you already went over it, but Sharpshooter definitely high up on the leaderboards. I think last time we checked, he was in 4th place. So this is a very, very important game. There's Bizzle in the background. Nice play. Very, very good player. Probably consider him the best player in the world in terms of consistency and longevity all the way through every single LAN event that has occurred so far. Bizzle has done very well. Listen how quiet it is right now, Zeke.
It's the calm before the storm, Bala. Everyone knows it's about to be Circle 5 time. And just like we continue to talk about that top 25 spot, everyone wants to try and make it there because it's a guaranteed 3 points replacement. And if you're the person that's like that it's eliminated like 26, you're like, oh my gosh, I was right there. Those 3 points could have separated me or bumped me up into those top placements, especially for the money. But now Larison rather going to take a shot here at Christian. Not going to quite work out, but look at the loadout. Golds across the board.
Yeah, solid loadout for him. He only has 1 elim, but he has a loadout. The gods, he's going to force the issue here. Straight onto this player in front of him, and he's not going to be able to get away, I don't think. Yeah, no, that's actually going to be Cosmic going down. Nice play there from Christian. And he's just going to continue to improve upon this loadout. I think I saw a Rift to go, did I? No, it was a Slurp Juice, actually.
This is huge for him.
I'm talking about the silence in the lobby. We talked about it last time, how that lobby was a little lighter in terms of the endgame. But here, actually, listen to how quiet it is. It really is, dependent on the players that you get in the lobby. It is 100 players, so you have the chance of basically having a good spread of different styles. But in this game specifically, definitely more passive. There's 41 up, and I don't hear a single gunshot on the horizon.
So the reason that is because NA East queues are done. Yeah. That means these are the final moments for all of these players, right? This is their last chance to accrue any points and potentially affect the overall standings, and that's what you're seeing. Everyone's slowing down their play. Everyone wants to make sure every decision is the best possible that it can be to hopefully propel them into that late game and put more points on the board for them. Jakey here with no eliminations, a kit similar to that of the gods, because my goodness, but still he needs to find something. Eliminations, placement points, anything would help him right now.
That's for sure. One thing though, it's a huge difference in terms of playing the endgame when there's this many players up and players are playing so passively, because as it gets towards those moving zones, as it gets to the area that people start to tunnel, the players are experienced, especially in LAN environments and in games like this where it's 100 pros versus all each other. They tend to do really well. Nice snipe there out from Jakey. He's actually going to do a lot of damage onto that player ahead of him as he continues and starts to make his rotate now, but somebody above him, he doesn't realize that. It's unfortunate. That edit goes right underneath the stairs, and he's going to actually take advantage of the... That's Vash going down.
That's a nice pickup for him, you know, and he's going to have that launch pad to bail. And now look, Ghoulboy's like, I'd like to recycle that, please and thank you. But now Jakey's getting right into the thick of it, center of the zone.
Nice find there. A little 1x1 that doesn't look to be currently occupied. So he builds right on top of it. Not going to be edited down from what I can tell. Yeah, 8 might be directly underneath there. That's possible that he has the edits on this, but sharpshooter's nearby as well, so I don't think he's going to go for it. Just too many players in the vicinity. There you can see Bizzle, Edgy, Mateos, General, Divinitary. I'm just naming off names that I really recognize because this is a stacked lobby, Zeke.
That's right, dude. Every single one of them fighting for final points because, again, NAQ times are done. This is it. This could be their last opportunity to accrue points. Still 32 players remain. Do not forget, top 25 is we're going to see the first 3 points hit the board. So everyone's playing as carefully and meticulous as possible.
I talk about the known players. Remember, we're seeing a lot of new names that we haven't seen before. And here's this guy looking for the, oh my goodness, Turnip. Oh, sorry I doubted you. That was disgusting. Onto Nikolai. Here we go. Continuing his rotate. The moving zone is starting. This is when everything starts to break loose. 30 players remaining. A nice shot there. Onto Tensi. Gonna hop. See this overview right now. See where players are rotating. IFEB's having a little bit of a struggle against Jakey there for high ground. But no. It's going to follow up. There's a lot of players and ballers. You can see Mateos. This is the area that Bizzle is in. Yeah, it is going to be Bizzle right now. Here he is. He has that green heavy AR. Nice shots on the Dustin. And is he going to follow it up with another? Yes, he is. Ghoulboy goes down. And don't tell me, Zeke. Okay, I was going to say, are you going to really get another right now?
Yeah, I mean, Bizzle punishing all these players. The trap play comes out. I don't know if that was his trap or not. I don't think it was.
I think it was, actually, because Tex just went down. I'm not sure if it even triggered, but regardless, nice play there from Bizzle.
And
now on to top 21.
That's right, dude. And this is just going back to what you talked about for Bizzle. This guy is, I mean, in the most positive possible way I can say, he's a robot, right? Calculated, constantly running numbers in his head, identifying best possible outcomes and executing on them. And that's why we saw him punish 2 players, almost 3 back-to-back. Actually, he did pick up 3, so 3 total. And now he's 1 more elimination away. 1 person has to fall here, and he hits top 15. There it is, another set of placement points, dude.
General doing it for him. Now Bizzle actually, we talked about Saf's hometown of Loot Lake. This is Bizzle's hometown of Dusty Divot. He's been dropping here as soon as the crater, that meteor hit here at Dusty.
All those many days ago, moons ago.
Yeah. Well, time allows him to onto the baller. Maybe somebody else will finish that out and fight on the low ground. But look, he's actually low on materials. He's spending the time right now to farm just a little bit, just because that could be the extra edge he needs. General taking out Sharpshooter. That was one of our standings leaders. Again, I think it was top 4, so we'll have to see. Going down now, top 10. Wixie on high ground. This is nice for him. Above the trees, very hard to see.
Now the question is, does he dip down? Does he try to rejoin everyone in that mid-ground below the tree line? Does he stay up here? Because you got to think, someone like Bizzle, you just saw him do it. He's just taking every opportunity to farm all these extra mats available to him, because like you said, that could make the difference. Yeah. Now, unless you're Wiggacy, who just stumbles upon a loot
I can't imagine
from another player.
I can't imagine, Zeke, that he stumbled upon that. That was his edit, and there's a nice shot onto Swerk. Nice play there. Swerk tried to swoop in and take a little bit of this high ground, but no, Wixie must have known that this was here. He's going back through old builds. Not sure, this was such a while ago it must have been, but he remembered that there's materials up there even, so nice play there from Wixie. I can't imagine that that was by chance. Just too calculated.
That's true. Wiggacy is one of those well-known players that we talk about often, right? We see his name all over the place. You still see people like General, Bizzle's still alive as well. 8 players,
yeah, 8
left, Bala.
Zeke.
The tension is building, and I don't know how I feel about it.
It's palpable right now. It's going right back towards the center of Divot. That's where it's going to end. So Wixie, the trees are going to cover him for a while, and actually this player baiting that he's going to land. Not hitting many shots, but he is going to finally take him out. There it is. General goes down.
That was General.
Enigmafy still in this game. This is a crazy list of players to end this out. Bizzle down on mid-ground. Divinity and Hornet so close to him. Ando was up in the leaderboards as well. I think he was second, but Divinitry's going to go down to Bizzle. Bizzle playing out of his mind right now in terms of the elims that we've seen. Keep these heals as long as he can, but no, it's going to be open area now. So Bizzle waiting till the last second, letting them fight above. He knows the threshold right now. He knows exactly what needs to happen for him to get the maximum amount of points here. And then the victory royale, playing this low ground flawlessly. Wixie takes out
down in front!
And then immediately, this player, he knocks him down and takes him out. That's Ando. The Rift! He picks up the Rift. That's a huge choice from him right now. And a lot of materials. 27, this player's trying to get directly underneath him, or on top of him. Enigmafy takes out Hornet. 3 players left. He's gonna Rift at the last second. Are you kidding me? This is such an interesting decision right now. Just trying to play
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know that it's gonna work out.
Yeah, I think Wixie ended up taking that right now as Bizzle did go down the zone. I'm not sure where that 3rd player went down, but the idea there was sound, but Wixie ends up coming out on top. The idea there, he had full HP, stayed inside the zone the entire time, picks up that Rift to go. Okay, he's basically using it at the last second so that he basically plays a heal off while that player's down below, because he's sure he's going to be in the zone, sure, but so is the other player. He's just taking that gamble, okay? I have max HP. This guy most likely doesn't have max HP. He might be 1 tick less than me or something like that. That's the gamble he went for. But now, these games are so important. There's Bizzle's partner Demo in this game. There's the elim leaders aspect on 4.
Vital with 4, Benzo 3, Little, and Watery Shoe, Sundown's favorite, with tied for 2 eliminations. But yeah, man, again, guys, NAQ times, that's it. So these are the final moments coming out of all these games for these players to make their way into those final top 90. So we'll have to see how things unfold. 40 players remain here in Circle 4. And Animal has got himself a baller. He's got himself the Flintlock pistol. All right, listen, Animal, listen. All right, look, are you here with me? Are you here? We're here together. Use the Flintlock. Let's see some crazy plays. All right, I believe in you.
Yeah.
Let's see it. Let's do it.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Animal, show us what you got. Give us that Flintlock action. That's all we're asking for. Can you hear us?
Yes. Ah, he heard us. There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's try again. Animal.
Oh, God.
Who are you going to attack? Which player here, Zeke? Is Animal. Demo? Okay, Demo. Why? Why do you want?
He's really dangerous.
Okay, yeah, smart, very smart.
What about Watery Shoe?
He's cool.
I agree.
All right, Animal, we'll let you play the game. That's okay. Give us that Flintlock action that we're asking for, please. But now on to Little. Making himself small. I talk about this all the time, not showing any sort of signs of aggressiveness. just looking through his walls, trying to decide what he wants to do in the future. 39 players left. This is another one of those lobbies, Zeke. It has slowed way down. We can feel it. The tension is there. These are the last games. You've mentioned it over and over. There's Little taking out SVG. Savage.
Man, this is, yeah, so again, guys, just to if you're joining us and you're like, man, why does this feel so tense? It's because it is. Okay, this is the Blackheart Cup that players qualified for yesterday. It was the top 3% of each region, and then the top 3,000 of the top 3% moved on to finals today. Oceania, Asia, NA, we're in NA East right now. Brazil and Europe have all concluded, okay? This is it for NA East. The queue times, they're done, okay? This is these players' last opportunity to try and rack up points and make their way into those top final standings to place in the money. And that's why this is so tense. And you can really feel it, you can really tell, because like you talked about, everything's slowing down. Everyone's trying to make sure every decision that they make is the best possible. You don't want to be that player that falls just before top 25. That's 3 points. That could be enough to just jump you up 5, 6, 7 slots. You know, maybe even 10 depending on where people are and where you are in the standings. So it's coming down to the wire, to say the least.
To say the least. You see Fajita, Latifa.
I love fajitas.
I do too, man. I do too. Show us what you got, man. He's looking through the box right now, trying to spot exactly where all the different players are. It's very important as he's going to make this rotation without mobility, Zeke. This is going to be rough. Look how many players are on the edge. He's now trying to wait for them, but no, actually that's Fulmer.
A launch
and he has the launch pad. So that's the elim he needed. Fulmer just waiting for the perfect moment, but maybe he needed to go a little bit earlier as Fajita Latifa takes him out. He's going to land on the baller. No, that's okay. But that launch pad was so key for him, especially because he does have a nice bank of materials. Fulmer has got to be thanking him for sure right now.
You mean he's thanking Fulmer?
Yeah, Fajita Latifa thanking Fulmer. It's okay. Place off the side. He's actually going to say, okay, no, let's back away. I want to get away from you. I know you're a little bit of aggressive. Nice read there.